perfect, just perfect day. Look at these clouds, it's fantastic. No one wants to be here because they're all crazy, except me. This is the opposite of plateauing. I had this thought as I was passing this beautiful trail here. By the way, I hope this comes out. I hope that you don't just hear a lot of wind and me literally howling into the wind. And I feel like that makes you a better actor. It makes you a better artist. Whatever you do, it just gives you more dimension. You're more well-rounded. You know, when we started this walk, the wind was kind of hitting my face. But now the wind's at my back. Sooner or later, it does happen. That was deep, wasn't it? Hey everyone, a little disclaimer. This is a very different kind of audio experience than usual because the wind was nuts. And there's a lot of it I just flat out cut, which was too bad because just couldn't really save any of the audio. Some little places I wound up re-recording in post. It's like one or two, it's not much, but just wanted to let you know that was happening in case you didn't figure it out. But what a time I had. I hope that some of that shows through and maybe some of the ideas discussed in here are thought-provoking for you as well. Anyways, hope you enjoy the video. You ever feel like you are inside a very beautiful painting? That's me every time it rains. I feel like I am the watercolor. Wow, huh? I was talking with a friend earlier this week about the feeling of the plateau. I think it's a very important and deceptive and seductive feeling because it goes hand in hand with complacency. I can watch a trajectory of a business or a company and they can be doing great, in my opinion. They can be beating the competition, they can be peaking, but there's just this simmering danger that I think any business owner or CEO, or a good one at least, is aware of, which is that you can lose all this right away. And certainly when you get into the really big corporations where everything's high stakes and all of that. I don't really know much about that, but just some little move, some shift in the media landscape, some shift in the stock market, some new development in technology, and everything just comes crashing down. So there's a lot to be careful about. But I say that as kind of a metaphor for the way to look at life, that life should always be moving. I always go back to that play, Our Town. One character is able to go back after she's died in a car accident. I think it's a car accident, but she gets to go back. She asks the dead if she can go see everyone and say goodbye, everyone she loves, and they go, okay, all right, but you'll see, there's no point in it. And then she does, she goes and she can't see any of them because they're all moving so fast. They're busy living. And I remember when I saw that much younger, and I thought, oh, that's terrible. I don't want to be one of those types of living people who is living so fast that they can't see the dead. But it's just not what life's about. And life is about lean in and live, experience, live. And I know for all these art projects that I do so many, or writing projects, or editing projects, filming projects, I'm always finding myself just having to lean forward. You know, it's almost like snowboarding boots versus ski boots. And with snowboarding boots, they're just basically like normal boots, and you can stop. You can bring your snowboard from being pointed towards the bottom of the hill to, you know, I guess like just that flat thing, and then you slow down as you're it's a great way to slow down, and then you can just plop your butt right down on the ground. Sit down, grab a sandwich out of your backpack, and you can just eat. Or you're skiing and you're in these boots that are always leaning forward. And I think for a big part of my life, I was... What's happening here?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, stop. That was weird. I accidentally triggered Siri. And, but then you have ski boots, which, as you know, are leaning forward always. But I realized the back of my calves were getting sore, you know? And that was because they were leaning back into the ski boots. And I just kind of realized, once you put these on, it's about always going after the horizon. It's about always going after the horizon. And I had this thought as I was passing this beautiful trail here on this, like, just perfect day. Look at these clouds. It's fantastic. No one wants to be here because they're all crazy except me. But because I have my Ghost in the Gaslight art vlog project, and I'm always looking for ways to challenge myself and bring new moments out and flesh them out, the ways that will keep me inspired as an artist, I stopped the car and I decided to go and film this walk on this ungodly but yet very godly day. And here we are. And this is the opposite of plateauing. Plateauing would have been, I'm complacent in my car and it's warm, I got some nice music, I've got some Chris Stapleton on or something, and then I will go home and blah blah blah, and I won't have experienced this phenomenal weather here. And that would have been just dandy, but there'd be this lingering, why didn't I do that? And then I would be thinking, well, I've got to figure something out to do. I've got to get that tree done. But that's all inside the house, in my safe space, in my artistic space. By the way, I hope this comes out. I hope that you don't just hear a lot of wind and me literally howling into the wind. I hope that you're able to hear some of the value. I think it's value. But that was the exact feeling that I keep trying to latch onto this feeling throughout the days. There's always something new that you can do. And I feel like that makes you a better actor. It makes you a better artist. Whatever you do, it just gives you more dimension. You're more well-rounded. I can still smell you on me. It's a beautiful thing. I think it was the end of the 90s with Kodak, and they just dominated photography. And it just looked like they were just going to dominate for another 50 years or something, however long they were going. And then you got the digital camera. And then eventually the camera phones. And they pretty much went the way to the dinosaur. The future belongs to the ones who want it. And I think back to my own experience with plateauing as a young artist, drawing and painting, and just eventually just not liking it anymore because I was uninspired by, I guess, the types of muses that I was going for. And I couldn't get it into my brain to just change things around and just do new stuff. And eventually, before I knew it, these lingering feelings of unfulfillment snowballed into this early end, this plateauing. And I think it was great to change it up and go be an actor, go find something else entirely different, totally different teachers, totally different challenges, totally different dark nights of the soul. And hitting rock bottom there, achieving greatness there, getting that feeling of I can do this, I am good at this. Because it showed me the power of reinvention. It's shown me the power of integration. And it is important to always be finding a jostling of yourself. And over the years, I would be leaning forward in that. And I think there was this nagging feeling that I couldn't quite place. But now I would say, in the context of this conversation, there was a leaning back into the ski boots. I think that is the ultimate non-life feeling. Throughout my life, I think I've sought to identify that. When am I leaning forward? When is that pain in the calves happening? No one is ahead of anybody. We're all right on track. You don't know all the good you've done. Someone else does. It might be someone whose life you touched, but I do think there's some all-seeing being out there that is delighting in the beauty of all of this, and you and I are all part of that. I mean, this is a dark, stormy, odious day. But this is just stunning. The green pops, everything, you know, and any photographer will tell you a day like today, I mean, without the wind, but, you know, an ominous sky like this is beautiful. It's stunning. My best to live my life as a human who hit the lottery. Because I'm a human being. Yeah, we should always look at where we're plateauing. We should look at where we're going on autopilot, phoning it in. Are you on autopilot today? Or are you on autopilot this month? Or are you on a plateau for this week? Is this just one of those years where things just seem to be dipping? What can you do about that? What can we all do about that? Sometimes taking that walk in the middle of a windstorm is just what the doctor ordered. Sometimes a vacation, sometimes a new job. Sometimes go and start drawing like you kept saying you were going to do, or I don't know, go make a band. Go do a tour. Yeah, maybe one day. Don't plateau. Don't plateau. Actually, I should put it into a positive. Always be climbing. I was going to say summiting, but words can be important. How you use words can be very important. So beautiful, these marshes. I got to show you these trees. They're when we started this walk, the wind was kind of hitting my face. But now the wind's at my back. Sooner or later, it does happen. That was deep, wasn't it? See, we're getting buds on these trees. Springtime is coming. Gorgeous. Well, you can kind of see them, but the best of times here. Here's the proof. You don't get to see this green every day, in every place in the world. There's something very important I do want to say is that there's times I want to share thoughts with you guys, and sometimes they turn into a very impassioned plea to make sure that you are doing your own version of this, which is living your best life. And I really want that for myself. I want that for other people. But I do want to point out that it's just tough. Life is tough. And that's kind of how it is meant to be. And people who are telling me that it's all easy, I don't really trust that, because you just get blindsided. The one thing I've found that can kind of help with that is if you can really practice some form of consistency. I think that if you can put more and more routine into your day, into your life, I think that the God source knows how to find you, knows how to send you the gifts, knows how to protect you from unpredictable, traumatic things. I think that is a math that makes total sense. That is totally logical. Apart from that, all bets are off. And some days I really struggle to get up in the morning. And it's really scary. Or sometimes I'm able to get some rest in the middle of the day, and maybe I've had a great day thus far, but getting up in the middle of the day is just, it's really tough. You just want to not do anything. So I just want to make sure that I'm not filled with a life that is just never plateauing. I know you know I'm no different. I just want to say I'm no different. This is electric. Don't change a thing. You ever feel like you are inside a very beautiful painting? That's me every time it rains. I feel like I am the watercolor. Wow, huh? Everything is so happy right now. I can feel the gasps of grass just saying yes. Give me more. Maybe I was but a blade of grass in the life before this one, and that is why I feel so alive when I am around all of these shimmering blades on a windy and rainy day. Maybe that's what it is. I'm absolutely loving. I can see the shimmer. It's like a caress. Well, this has been a hell of a hike. I'd like to thank you, one, for taking it with me, two, for, well, you, great listener, are my muse. You are the reason that I rolled over and wanted to do this. This is the grand finale. Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you find good value, I promise I'm always seeking to give more. And of course, you can enjoy art and ghost stories as well. Also get the inside of my mind on walks like this. Well, this seems like a good place to say our goodbyes. Until next time, take care. Beautiful pond. Look at this. This pond is usually covered with this algae. And look at that one duck there. That guy. That is me. He's the one who decided to just enjoy all this time here alone. Because this is usually covered with ducks.